The fluorescent lights of Riverside Middle School hummed overhead as Ms. Patricia Chen walked down the hallway during lunch period. After 15 years of teaching 7th grade, she'd developed a sixth sense for trouble, and right now, every instinct told her something was wrong. She found Maya Rodriguez hunched against the wall near the water fountain, her face contorted in pain. The 12-year-old was breathing in short, shallow gasps, one hand pressed against her lower back. Maya. Sweetheart, what's wrong? Patricia knelt beside her student, noting the tears streaming down the girl's brown cheeks. Nothing, Ms. Chen. I'm okay, Maya whispered, but her trembling voice betrayed her words. You're clearly not okay. Can you stand up? Maya tried to push herself upright, but a sharp cry escaped her lips. It hurts so much. I can't sit in class. Please don't make me go back. Patricia's heart clenched. How long has your back been hurting like this? A few days, maybe, Maya said, avoiding eye contact. It's getting worse. We need to call your parents. Where's your phone? Panic flashed across Maya's face. No. Please, Ms. Chen, you can't call them. Especially not my dad. Please. The desperation in that please sent alarm bells ringing through Patricia's mind. She'd seen this before, children hiding injuries, making excuses, protecting adults who should be protecting them. Her stomach twisted into knots. Maya, I need you to be honest with me. How did you hurt your back? The girl's lips trembled. I fell down the stairs at home. The stairs, Patricia repeated carefully, studying the child's face. When did this happen? Monday night. I was rushing to my room and I slipped. It was Thursday now. 3 days of escalating pain that a child had hidden from everyone. Patricia's mind raced through protocol, through the mandatory reporting requirements drilled into every teacher. But she needed more information first. Maya, has anyone hurt you? At home or anywhere else? No. The answer came too quickly, too forcefully. Nobody hurt me. I'm just clumsy. Patricia helped Maya to her feet, as gently as possible, and guided her to the nurse's office. Nurse Deborah Williams took one look at the girl's posture, the way she held herself rigid, afraid to bend or twist, and immediately began a careful examination. This level of pain isn't normal for a simple fall, Deborah said quietly to Patricia while Maya sat on the examination table. I'm seeing some bruising along her lower back and sides. The pattern is concerning. What do you mean? Patricia asked, though dread was already pooling in her chest. I mean, it doesn't look like bruising from falling downstairs. It looks more like, please don't call my dad, Maya interrupted, fresh tears spilling down her face. He didn't mean it. He was just angry. I broke his favorite coffee mug and he grabbed me and threw me against the wall. But it was my fault. I shouldn't have been so careless. The words hung in the air like a guillotine blade. Patricia felt her hands begin to shake as fury and heartbreak warred within her. Deborah's face had gone pale, but her voice remained steady. Maya, honey, what happened to you is not your fault. Not at all. Do you understand me? But I made him angry. He works so hard, and he was stressed about losing his job at the factory, and I broke something he loved. He said I never think about anyone but myself. Patricia wanted to scream. She wanted to march straight to the Rodriguez household and confront the man who'd put his hands on this beautiful, innocent child. Instead, she forced herself to remain calm, to be the stable adult Maya needed right now. Sweetheart, no adult should ever hurt a child. Not for breaking something, not for any reason. You didn't deserve this. But my mom said I need to be more careful around him when he's upset. She said the stress is making him different. He used to be nice, he used to take me to the park every Saturday. He's not a bad person. The desperation in Maya's voice, the need to defend her abuser, to make sense of a world that had betrayed her, broke Patricia's heart into pieces. This was the cruelest part of family violence, how it twisted children's understanding of love and safety. I need to make some phone calls, Deborah said gently. Maya, we're going to make sure you're safe, okay? And we're going to get you proper medical treatment for your back. You're calling CPS, aren't you? Maya's voice was hollow. My friend Jessica, they took her away from her mom last year. I don't want to leave my mom. She needs me. And my little brother Carlos, who's going to protect him if I'm gone. Patricia sat beside Maya and took her hand. Right now, we need to focus on getting you help. And yes, your brother needs protection too. If your father hurt you, he might hurt Carlos. He hasn't touched Carlos. Just me. I think it's because I look like my Aunt Rosa. Dad's sister. They had a huge fight last year and don't talk anymore. Sometimes when he looks at me, it's like he's seeing her instead. The pieces were falling into place, painting a picture of a man drowning in job loss and family conflict, taking out his rage on a child who reminded him of past wounds. Understanding the psychology didn't excuse it, nothing could excuse it, but it helped Patricia see the full scope of the tragedy unfolding. Over the next hour, the machinery of child protection services ground into motion. Social worker Amanda Pierce arrived with a gentle smile and tired eyes that had seen too many cases like this. She interviewed Maya with practiced skill, recording every detail while Patricia and Deborah provided their observations. The bruising and her description of events indicate clear physical abuse, Amanda explained to Patricia in the hallway. We'll need to remove her from the home immediately. Her brother too, once we can locate him, he's at the elementary school next door, correct? Yes. He's in 3rd grade. Patricia pressed her fingers to her temples. What happens to their mother? Mrs. Rodriguez will have to make some difficult choices. If she's willing to leave her husband and participate in safety planning, she may be able to keep the children with her, possibly in a domestic violence shelter. If she chooses to stay with him. Amanda's voice trailed off, the implications clear. Through the office window, Patricia could see Maya sitting small and frightened in a chair, clutching a worn stuffed elephant someone had given her from the nurse's comfort box. How many times had Patricia seen that exact posture? How many students had sat in that exact spot, waiting to discover whether their world would be torn apart, or somehow stitched back together? When Ricardo Rodriguez arrived at the school, he was all charm and concern, a tall man with graying hair and an easy smile that didn't reach his eyes. Patricia watched from the office as he spoke to the principal, Mr. Harrison, his voice rising and falling with practiced indignation. This is ridiculous. My daughter fell down the stairs. She's clumsy, always has been. Now you people are treating me like some kind of criminal. Mr. Rodriguez, the injuries are consistent with abuse, not a fall, Mr. Harrison said firmly. CPS is involved now. I suggest you cooperate fully. The mask slipped for just a moment. Patricia saw rage flicker across Ricardo's face before he smoothed it away. This is that teacher, isn't it? Ms. Chen. She's always had it out for Maya, always marking her down, always criticizing. Now she's making up stories to cause trouble for my family. Patricia's hands clenched into fists, but she held her tongue. This was a classic deflection tactic. Attack the accuser, play the victim, rewrite the narrative. She'd seen it before with other parents in denial or deliberately covering up abuse. The confrontation escalated when Ricardo demanded to see Maya. Amanda Pierce stood her ground like a brick wall. Mr. Rodriguez, your daughter has disclosed physical abuse. She will not be returned to your care at this time. You'll be hearing from our office regarding an investigation and safety planning. My daughter is a liar. She makes up stories for attention. Ricardo's voice bounced off the walls, loud enough that everyone in the administrative wing could hear. Her mother spoils her, lets her watch too much TV. She doesn't know what's real anymore. Enough. Amanda's voice cut through his tirade like a blade. You can either leave peacefully, or I'll have the school resource officer escort you out and document your behavior for the investigation. Ricardo's face went purple with fury, but he turned and stormed out, slamming doors behind him. In the heavy silence that followed, Patricia heard Maya crying softly in the nurse's office. That evening, Patricia sat in her quiet apartment, unable to stop replaying the day's events. She'd done everything right, followed protocol, reported the abuse, supported her student. But it didn't feel right. It felt like watching a slow-motion car crash, while standing powerless on the sidelines. Her phone rang. It was Deborah from school. I thought you should know, they took both children into emergency foster care tonight. Mrs. Rodriguez chose her husband. Said Maya was exaggerating, making mountains out of molehills. Said kids need discipline, and her husband never did anything that bad. Patricia felt like she'd been punched in the chest. She chose him over her own children. Fear is a powerful thing. And so is financial dependence. Mrs. Rodriguez hasn't worked in 10 years. She has no education beyond high school, no job skills, no family nearby. Leaving means poverty and uncertainty. Staying means the devil she knows. And the children pay the price. Always, Deborah said sadly. It's always the children. The next few weeks passed in a blur of court hearings, caseworker visits, and progress reports. Maya and Carlos were placed with a foster family in a different school district. Patricia drove 4 to 5 minutes each way, twice a week, to visit Maya and help her keep up with schoolwork. The girl was withdrawn at first, barely speaking, going through the motions of assignments without any spark of interest. Her back healed physically, thankfully, no permanent damage, but the emotional wounds ran deeper than any bruise. Do you hate my dad? Maya asked one afternoon while they reviewed her math homework in the foster home's dining room. Patricia chose her words carefully. I hate what he did to you. I hate that he hurt someone I care about. But hate is complicated. Mostly, I feel sad. Sad that he let his anger and stress turn him into someone who would harm his own child. My foster mom says the same thing. She says hurt people hurt people. Maya traced patterns on the table with her finger. I miss my mom. Even though she didn't protect me, I still miss her. Is that stupid? Not at all. Love doesn't just disappear because someone lets us down. But you deserved better, Maya. You deserved parents who would protect you, no matter what. Ms. Chen. Maya's voice was small. Thank you for believing me. For not pretending everything was fine when it wasn't. Patricia reached across the table and squeezed Maya's hand. Always, sweetheart. Always. 3 months later, Patricia received an update from Amanda Pierce. Ricardo Rodriguez had been charged with child abuse and assault. He'd taken a plea deal, anger management classes, supervised visitation only, permanent protective orders in place. Mrs. Rodriguez had finally left him after he broke her arm in a fit of rage, apparently furious about everything you've cost me. The children remained in foster care, but their mother was now working with social services, attending therapy, and taking parenting classes. There was hope, fragile and tentative, that reunification might be possible eventually. Once she proved she could protect her children and put their needs first, Maya slowly began to blossom in the safety of her foster home. Her grades improved. She joined the school's art club. She smiled more. The shadows in her eyes didn't disappear completely. Trauma leaves marks that time alone can't erase, but they grew lighter. On the last day of the school year, Maya appeared at Patricia's classroom door. She'd convinced her foster parents to drive her across town one final time. I wanted to give you this, Maya said, holding out a framed drawing. It showed a woman with kind eyes standing beside a small girl, both of them surrounded by bright flowers and sunshine. At the bottom, in careful letters, "Thank you for seeing me." Patricia's eyes filled with tears as she hung the drawing in a place of honor beside her desk, where she would see it every day. You know what the hardest part was? Maya said quietly. Admitting that my dad was guilty. Saying those words out loud. Because once I said them, I couldn't take them back. Everything changed. Change is terrifying, Patricia agreed. But sometimes it's the only way to survive. And look at you now, you're not just surviving, Maya. You're starting to thrive. My foster mom says the same thing. Maya smiled, a real smile that reached her eyes. She says I'm braver than I know. That speaking up took more courage than staying silent ever would have. She's absolutely right. As Patricia watched Maya leave with her foster mother, watched her climb into the car without wincing, saw her laugh at something that was said, she felt the weight she'd been carrying for months finally begin to lift. Not every story had a happy ending. Patricia had been teaching long enough to know that harsh truth. But some stories had second chapters, new beginnings born from the ashes of what came before. And sometimes, just sometimes, those second chapters led somewhere better than anyone had dared to hope. The next year, Patricia received a letter from Maya, now settled with her mother in a small apartment across town. Ricardo was out of their lives permanently, his parental rights terminated after he violated the protective order 3 times. Mrs. Rodriguez had a job at a local grocery store, and was slowly rebuilding her life and her relationship with her children. The letter was simple, written in Maya's careful handwriting. Dear Ms. Chen, I wanted you to know that I'm okay. More than okay, actually. Carlos and I are doing well with Mom. She's different now, stronger. She tells us every day that she's sorry she didn't protect us before, but that she'll never make that mistake again. I still have nightmares sometimes. But I also have good dreams now too. Dreams where I'm safe, where nobody is angry, where I can just be a kid. You asked me once what I wanted to be when I grew up. I think I want to be a teacher, like you. Or maybe a social worker, like Miss Pierce. Someone who helps kids who are going through what I went through. Because I know now that speaking up saved my life. Staying silent would have killed something inside me, even if the bruises healed. Thank you for teaching me that I matter. That my safety matters. That I deserved better. Love. Maya. Patricia read that letter until the words blurred with tears, then filed it carefully in a folder she kept of all the letters from students over the years, the ones who'd made it, who'd survived, who'd found their way to safer shores. In a profession where success was measured in small moments rather than grand victories, letters like Maya's were everything. They were proof that speaking up mattered, that following protocol and making difficult phone calls and sitting through uncomfortable investigations served a purpose. They were proof that sometimes, just sometimes, the system worked. That children could be saved. That teachers could make a difference simply by paying attention, by refusing to look away, by believing a child when she said those terrible, courageous words. My dad is guilty, and in the end, wasn't that what teaching was really about? Not just algebra and essay writing and historical dates, but seeing children, truly seeing them, and stepping in when they needed someone to stand between them and the harm the world could do. Patricia hung Maya's letter beside the drawing, 2 reminders of why she'd chosen this profession and why, despite the heartbreak and frustration, and endless bureaucracy, she would choose it again, because every child deserved at least one adult who would see them, believe them, and fight for them when they couldn't fight for themselves. Every single child deserved that much.